Hello and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. Today is a special edition as it will focus on Egyptian-Djibouti relations as President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Djibouti President early in the day, Ismail Omar Gila, who is currently in an official visit to Egypt. The two presidents held a press conference earlier in the day. And to shed more light on the importance of the visit, we are joined over the phone by Ambassador Ahmed Haggak, former Secretary General for the Organization of African Union. Good morning.
Good morning. I was Assistant Secretary General only, not the Secretary General.
Secretary General, yes.
Assistant Secretary General.
Okay, Assistant Secretary General, yes.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ambassador, we have all followed the visit by Djibouti President to Egypt early in the day and the press conference that was held a few hours ago. So, tell us more about the main topics that were tackled in the press conference.
I think the most important issue was an agreement to establish a big logistic center for Egyptian goods and services located in Djibouti, in order to distribute those goods to not only the East African region, but in other Central African Republic and in the center of Africa itself. This is a return visit to the official visit President Sisi paid to Djibouti last year. Djibouti and Egypt are bound by very important agreements and relations. Since the independence of Djibouti, Egypt rendered a lot of assistance to Djibouti, manpower, professor, it gives a lot of scholarships to Djibouti students. We envisage to establish an area linked by Egypt Air to Djibouti in the near future. So we have a lot of consultations, and I think the relations are only to increase.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, also the talks dealt with Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam and the President stressed Egypt's willingness to reach a binding deal over the filling up and operation phases of the dam. What is the role that can be played by Djibouti in this field?
Djibouti, although it is a small country, but it is the only outlet for Ethiopia onto the sea. Most of Ethiopian imports and exports go through the port of Djibouti. So I think this is an area where Djibouti can use its relation with Ethiopia to revive the talks between the three countries, Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia, on the Renaissance Dam. Another aspect also during the visit of the President of Algeria, this item was discussed. Since Ethiopia itself asked Algeria to intervene in the talks, reviving the talks. Another element, the current chairman, President of Senegal, Macky Sall, who assumed his position yesterday, promised to revive this area during his chairmanship.
Yes, also the President asserted the importance of establishing peace and stability in the Horn of Africa region and promoting cooperation. Yes, Mr. Ambassador? Yes? It seems there is a technical problem, and as we said earlier, that President Fattah el-Sisi said that Egypt and Djibouti are linked to in extended strategic relations that are coupled with a mutual political will for their enhancement. The President was addressing early in the day a press conference with Djibouti President Ismail Omar, who is currently on an official visit to Egypt. President Sisi added that bilateral cooperation with Djibouti have witnessed a remarkable push in recent years, citing his earlier visit to Djibouti. The President also said that the talks dealt with Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam and stressed Egypt's willingness to reach a binding deal over the filling up and operation phases of the dam. The President asserted the importance of establishing peace and stability in the Horn of Africa region and promoting cooperation to secure security in the Red Sea. And Mr. Ambassador? Mr. Ambassador?
Yes, please.
Yes, so it's okay, sir. So we were talking about ensuring the security in the Red Sea. So,
Yes.
can you hear me? So the President asserted on the importance of establishing peace and stability in the Horn of Africa and promote cooperation to ensure security in the Red Sea. So how do you see the importance of this?
The Red Sea, there is an important conference held in Saudi Arabia in order to bring the Red Sea countries for a meeting to encourage cooperation. I think they can play a role in this regard. This is the way to the Suez Canal and also to other countries in bordering the Red Sea, like Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Eritrea, and other countries. So it is a very important route we have to establish. It's also a lot of navies of major countries are using this route in order to establish a mechanism to combat piracy in the Red Sea. So we hope that by this, Egypt can contribute in bringing peace and security where regional trade can flourish in peace, and also international trade could not be hindered by pirates and other aspects.
Also, the Djiboutian president congratulated President Sisi for hosting the upcoming UN Climate Change Conference COP27 in November. Actually, it is a very important event that is expected also to benefit many African countries. So how do you see the importance of this conference and its importance to the African continent?
Mr. Sameh Shoukry, the Foreign Minister of Egypt, organized a big meeting on the periphery of the summit of African Summit in order to explain the preparation for the Sharm el-Sheikh conference, and it will devote a big part of its discussion and recommendation on the effect of the climate change on African economies. Africa is the biggest continent which will be affected by any change in the climate, although it does not produce many carbon effect like other industrialized economies. So he promised that Egypt leadership in this conference will devote a lot of attention in order to find a solution to assist African countries to cope with this phenomenon.
Yes, also, sir, there is an agreement in the health sector between the two countries, as Egypt is expected to build a very big specialized hospital in Djibouti. So how do you see cooperation in this domain?
It's not only Djibouti which Egypt is assisting in the health sector. Many African countries benefited from shipments of medicine and other requirements for her health service, and also some of the students from Djibouti are studying medicine in Egyptian faculties. So I'm not sure, but I think we have some doctors practicing in Djibouti hospitals.
Yes, sir, also if we talk about the memos of understanding that were signed between the two countries, one of them was in the field of energy and renewable resources. Another, as we said earlier, were about establishing logistics zone in Djibouti. So first, let's focus on cooperation in the field of energy and renewable sources. How can the two countries cooperate in this field?
Egypt could render assistance in bringing the know-how which it possesses from the new wave of generating energy and electricity from the sun or the wind. And Djibouti can have a big desert which can benefit from bringing this industry it suffers from a lot of stoppage of electricity grid, so they can establish its generators and in what they call green economy, and also they have also a big source of wind, which you can find you can establish turbines which could generate electricity in the Djibouti grid.
Yes, so also President Sisi embarked on an official visit to Djibouti in May last year, and it was the first official visit by Egyptian president to the African country since its independence in 1970s. So how do you see the importance of that visit, especially that it was the first by an Egyptian president?
The visit of President Sisi was very crucial in fostering closer relation between the two countries, based on all the relation between independent Djibouti, which Egypt assisted to bring independence from the French colonial power. But in the last few years, consultation between President Sisi and the presidents of Djibouti has been constant, and there is a lot of delegations coming to Egypt and Egyptian delegation going to Djibouti. And also there is a lot of cooperation between the Djibouti diplomats and the Egyptian diplomats, not only in the African summit, but in the Francophone zone, and I think both countries can gain a lot from this cooperation and find proper ways to further it.
Yes, finally, I'd like to thank you, Ambassador Ahmed Haggag, former Assistant Secretary General of the Organization for the Organization of African Union. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And as I've mentioned, the President has received early in the day Djibouti President Ismail Omar Gila, and he is currently on official visit to Egypt. We will have more information about this important visit in this report. That are coupled with a mutual political will for their enhancement. The President was addressing a joint press conference on Monday with Djibouti's President Ismail Omar Gila, who is currently on an official visit to Egypt. President Sisi added that bilateral cooperation with Djibouti have witnessed a remarkable push in recent years, citing his earlier visit to Djibouti last year. He also said that the talks dealt with Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam and stressed Egypt's willingness to reach a binding deal over the filling up and operation phases of the dam. The President asserted the importance of establishing peace and stability in the Horn of Africa region and promoting cooperation to ensure security in the Red Sea. For his part, Djibouti's President said that the talks with President Sisi tackled means of boosting relations and exchanged points of views over issues of mutual interest. He emphasized the need to activate cooperation in establishing regional security and stability, congratulating President Sisi for hosting upcoming UN Climate Change Conference COP27 in November.
نحن لدينا مصير مشترك.
مصر تسلمت الرئاسة الدورية للاتحاد الإفريقي لعام 2019 وتتطلع كعادتها دوما للتعبير عن شواغل الشعوب الإفريقية الشقيقة الرامية لتحقيق الاستقرار والتقدم ودفع عجلة التنمية قدما. إذا كنتم ترغبون في تغيير وجه القارة الأفريقية، فالاتحاد الإفريقي كقيادة تستطيع أن تعمل وتدرس بشكل مركزي لمشروع عملاق لبناء بنية أساسية على مستوى القارة. أنا أتصور أن الأمن والاستقرار استثمار. إذا لم تستقر هذه القارة والأمن فيها بمعدلاته عالية، هذا الأمر سينعكس بالسلب علينا كلنا.